Hey, thanks for tuning in today. I want to give you an update on an episode I recorded. It was also a Substack article I wrote quite a few weeks ago, I'd say even maybe 2 months ago. And it was about how I had a job interview with the enemy. Now, this was all just a fun thing I did. I jumped onto a tool called Tavi.ai. And what Tavis does is it creates these AI avatars that you can use to interview people for jobs. So basically what happened was it's like I clicked this button and it was like I jumped into a Zoom room, but instead of a real human on the other end of the Zoom call, it was an AI avatar. It was a robot and we had a conversation. So she was asking me questions. I was responding to her. It was a little bit clunky, but it was like, wow, this is incredible. And so I did a post about it on Substack and LinkedIn about this fake job interview. And I got a lot of backlash, to be honest. A lot of people were like, this is terrible. And, why are you promoting this? And just a lot of people were really, and I get it. Like, I'm not saying that they're wrong. It is quite confronting. It's a bit weird. But I guess in my article, I kind of defended it a little bit by saying what's fascinating is people are defending the current process of recruitment as if it's amazing. It's actually been a bit of a dumpster fire. Like the amount of people that get ghosted, the time it takes to close and just report back. I just think we can do better and maybe technology can help us out with that, particularly when huge organizations get thousands of applicants for a job. I didn't really understand what was the difference between companies using screening tools anyway to just look for keywords and CVs. How is this any different? And instead of maybe skip the resume part and just a conversation with an AI avatar to apply for a job first up, I think there's different ways that we can rethink recruitment. Anyway, so that was what I was sharing. And then I jumped onto LinkedIn this morning and I saw this post from Greg Eisenberg. I'm going to read it to you in full. It's absolutely fascinating. So this is what Greg says. He says, a new study came out on AI job interviews and the results are not what anyone expected. 70,000 people in the Philippines applied for customer service roles. Some were interviewed by human recruiters, some by an AI voice agent. The recruiters running the study predicted the AI would fail. They thought it would lead to worse interviews, fewer offers, weaker hires. They were convinced people would prefer humans. They were wrong. The applicants interviewed by AI ended up with more job offers, more people actually showing up to start their jobs, and higher retention after 30 days. When given the choice, almost 8 out of 10 applicants preferred to be interviewed by the AI. The AI was just way more consistent than their average human. It asked every candidate the full set of questions. It pulled more useful details and cut the noise. Humans get tired, they improvise, they skip steps, they let bias creep in. The AI just kept going, and in hiring, consistency is a superpower. Something else happened too. Candidates with lower test scores were more likely to choose the AI. Not because it would be easier, but because it felt less judgmental, more structured, less about charm, and more about substance. Reports of gender discrimination were cut nearly in half when interviews were run by AI instead of people. The startup opportunity is wide open to build the tools, workflows, and platforms that sit on top of this shift. From screening to training to internal promotions, every part of talent is about to be redesigned. Tons of money will be made. Huge impact. This whole study gets you thinking that AI will rewrite who gets access to it. If interviews are less about small talk and unconscious bias and more about structured answers to consistent questions, a very different set of people get hired. The story is that AI quietly rewires the rules of opportunity. One day you walk into an interview and instead of convincing a person, you're convincing a machine. And that machine will not laugh at your jokes, will not be impressed by your shoes, will not get tired at 4 p.m. And that's going to change millions of lives. This is the new world we're stepping into. What do you think? I'll leave you with that. I'm curious, what do you think about this? I think it's extraordinary. I don't even know. My mind is just... it's going all these different places, but really fascinating to see that. And I will link to the study in the show notes for this episode too. Thanks for listening and speak to you tomorrow.